My client now believes that one of the reasons for the horse's poor condition had to do with one of the methods of feeding. I believe it would
One
be
of the methods of what?
feeding the horses. The square bales of hay was which she had used for most feeding purposes.
I thought the issue was that she wasn't feeding the horses at all.
And what I'm indicating, Your Honor, attached to the police report, there's 9 letters saying to the contrary. We don't dispute the condition of the horses being in poor condition. She now believes it has to do with the difference of the kind of hay that she was using as opposed to the kind of hay that was being provided to the horses from...
Thomas Round, please. You're trying to tell me that an emaciated, starving animal is going to turn down the hay because it's not the right brand?
No, sir.
Are you
That's not,
serious?
that's not what I was saying. I was
What are
saying
you saying?
that there was not enough nutrition in some of the square bales that we bought for the horses
Well, when did you figure that out?
when we changed hay.
And when did that happen?
I'm not exactly sure, sir. I was not feeding the horses myself.
Correct. And they were on your property, they were in your custody and under your control, and you had the duty,
Yes, sir.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And of course, Your Honor, that is the basis for the plea that she entered. At the same time, it wasn't a question of not feeding the horses. It was a question of feeding them the deficient hay. And she does acknowledge she's responsible for that, but that's a different factual scenario than simply starving them by not feeding them at all, which was the initiation of the police report.
This horse didn't die from cancer. This horse died because it was mistreated, untreated, unfed, uncared for.
That is not true, sir.
The hell isn't true.
Sir, I fed that horse 4 2-pound scoops of grain every day for a month, and she just kept deteriorating.
I'll give you one horse. What about the other one?
The other one was a rescue horse that they put down, was a rescue horse that we'd only had for 2 months.
So what?
He did not need to be put down. He was back up on his feet. Shante Bouillon, the vet, came out and looked at him and said, I don't think he's going to make it, and just put him down.
Right, that was
After
the
another-
veterinary,
after
that
another
was the
vet the month
veterinary
before.
medicine doctor's considered opinion after having examined both of the animals on your property.
The one
And you're
man,
trying to tell me that the vet put that horse down and it didn't need to be put down?
yes, sir.
Well, you know, if you had even 1 ounce of credibility or experience or expertise, I might even think about it, but I can't think about it. Because all I can think about is that you are getting yourself in deeper and deeper with every word you say. So even though you have the right to say more this morning, I don't think it's a good idea. So, can we get this on?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any animals, period. Not so much as a goldfish. I'm amending that for sure.
Your Honor, I would ask this that the court consider the fact that she tried to feed the horses before imposing that sanction. I don't believe there's any evidence that she's mistreated any of those animals.
Well, I don't know what she's mistreated or who she's mistreated or what species she's mistreated. But one thing that doesn't show up in this pre-sentence report is the 60, and I counted them, 60 entries in our local file, 33 of which have the entry DOG. Now I'm told, not having the time to go through every one of these files, that DOG may refer to a dog at large, may also refer to the mistreatment or lack of care for another type of animal like a horse. And I'm told that all those entries have to do with not caring for and being unable to provide for a horse, or allowing a horse to be at large, or perhaps it was a dog. I don't care what it was. For that reason, for those 33 reasons, you will not be in possession of, or have, or get near any animals. And if there's any animals, and I'm serious about goldfish, on your premises, you will be doing larger quantities of jail time. You understand that?
And 10 days in jail with a caveat that maybe it will be on weekends.
Only 10 days. That's the recommendation, only 10 days.
Yes, Your Honor. We would ask the court to consider holding that in abeyance for compliance with the terms and conditions of
Absolutely
probation.
not. I don't do that. I don't ever do that.
And
Holding a
then,
sentence in abeyance is pointless. I don't do that.
in the alternative, Your Honor, then we'd ask for it to be served on weekends so that she can maintain custody of her child without any difficulty.
No. I don't actually know what's at the root of all this, I have to tell you. I thought maybe you were mentally or physically or financially unable to care for these animals. I never believed, and I still don't believe, that this is a malicious or intentional act. That you take some pleasure in seeing animals become emaciated, go to the ground, unable to get up, to see their flesh hanging from their bones. I just can't believe that you're that much of a monster. I don't believe that. So what is the rationale for this behavior? What's the root of it? And then I look at the 33 entries on our local court system file, and I'm thinking there's something we don't know about you. So I'm pulling out all the stops and making some guesses and some assumptions and some maybe far out conclusions, but that's what we're going for. To effectuate, we're done with allocution. I'm doing the sentencing now, and you're going to listen to it. And it's going to be a year probation. It's going to be 2 years probation. The fine is $100, court costs $700, $48 to the state, $294 to repay the cost of counsel, $2106 restitution and counting. And yes, you're entitled to a hearing if you want one. Not to be in possession of horses or dogs or any other animals of any species. And that means they cannot be on any premises owned or rented or occupied by yourself. Not to consume or possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. You'll get a substance abuse assessment and follow any recommendations they have. You'll be on twice weekly urine screens until further notice. The jail term is 14 days with credit for 0. You'll serve it now. And that will complete the sentence.
You know, my client does request a hearing on restitution and a court-appointed attorney for such.
We'll schedule it. Okay, Mr.